Hey, how's it going, everyone? Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing great. Hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Your friend Dean Kulaweera here every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone. I'm right here to help you folks out with job search tips, advice, and strategies, recruitment tips, advice, and strategies. Look, my whole intention here is to, of course, increase the amount of knowledge and practical advice that those of you out there who are job seekers, or even maybe you're an organization, you're a hiring manager, you're looking to grow your team. What I wanted to do here, and my intention here, is to share tips, advice, and strategies that you can apply to your organization, or if you're a job seeker, to your job search, right? Because job searching, especially, it's not something that most of us are taught. It's not something like where there's some standard methodology, right? That we were all handed down and were given in order to approach our job search better. So that's why I'm here every week. And for those of you tuning in for the first time, my name is Dean. I've been working in the recruitment industry for about 8+ years. I've always been an IT recruiter and always have been on the staffing agency or recruitment agency side of the equation. So my thoughts, my perspective is all based on that kind of a perspective. So that being said, don't be shy, folks. Make sure you introduce yourself in the comments. Shout out to everyone tuning in from LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Hope those of you on Instagram were able to join me on one of those channels, because I'm always having issues with going live on Instagram for whatever reason. I guess Instagram doesn't really like me. But in any case, if you want to follow me on my other channels, all my social media links are on my Linktree page. So you can check out linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter, linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter. And one more time for good luck, linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter. I made it real simple for you folks to remember my username there. So in any case, if you also want some other great content, aside from following me on LinkedIn and those other social media channels, make sure you subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter as well, for recruitment tips and advice, job search tips and advice. And I release a new edition every week on Mondays, usually either Monday morning or probably in the afternoon. Well, typically in the afternoon. And I do this every week. And again, it's a way for me to stay in communication with all you great folks out there, and make sure that I'm adding value to you as a result of you following me or connecting with me on LinkedIn or whatever the case is, whatever the situation is. All right. So let's see if I am indeed live or if I'm just talking to myself at this point. Yeah, it looks like we got some people tuning in. Awesome. So what I'm going to be speaking about today, folks, is a very important topic, and that is the topic of follow-up. Right? Follow-up is a very, very crucial part of your job search, not only your job search strategy, but hey, if you're someone who is a hiring manager or you're working in recruitment at an organization, you know how important follow-up is. It's very, very important, because not everyone's going to make their decisions right away. They're not going to make their decisions real quick, and a whole bunch of other stuff. All these other incidents and priorities can change. Fires need to be put out. Like a whole bunch of stuff could be going through the hiring manager's mind or the candidate's mind. And this is where follow-up is so important as part of your job search strategy. All right. So before I get into that, I also wanted you to know that, wait, hold on. Is there, sorry, I thought there was a comment there. No. So again, feel free to introduce yourself in the comments, folks. Any questions you have about this topic or anything else job search related, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll get to the questions after I finish speaking about today's topic, which is Follow-up strategy. All right, very important, very important. I know follow-up is a somewhat of a mystery to a lot of you out there, so I'm going to cover a bit of a mindset shift that you need to be making when you're talking about or thinking about follow-up, and it'll help you basically by the end of this session. You should be able to figure out a more effective strategy that you can utilize in your follow-up. Now, as always, this today's session is sponsored by Tech Recruiters 360, which is my IT recruitment agency, which I've been running since around September. This is my own company, my own business. So if you're an IT professional in the Greater Toronto Area, you're an organization searching for IT professionals anywhere across Canada, make sure you feel free to make sure you reach out to me and connect with me either on LinkedIn or you can follow me. You can send me a direct message or shoot me an email at dean@techrecruiters360.com. My email is in my LinkedIn headline, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. And again, any recruitment needs at your organization, or again, if you're an IT professional, not just in Greater Toronto Area, but I'd say anywhere in Canada, hey, I want to be your guy. If I can't help you now, I can help you at some point in the future. Right. So make sure you check me out on that. And just a heads up on what I'm recruiting on right now. So I have two major roles that I'm recruiting on right now. Number one is I have a client looking for a SIM/Splunk resource. Right, this is someone strong cybersecurity knowledge, and this is a full-time permanent position, and it's based out of the Markham area, right? And this role does require someone who has eligibility for secret level government clearance. So, which means that you have to be someone who has lived, who is a Canadian citizen, and has to have, and you have to have lived and worked in Canada consecutively for the past 10+ years. All right, so that's what's required for you to be eligible for a secret level government clearance. If you don't already have secret level clearance, my client will help you process that, but you do have to have those previous requirements, right? Which is living in Canada for the past 10+ years consecutively as a and be a Canadian citizen as well. The other role I'm working on is I have a client looking for a junior tech recruiter. This is a corporate recruitment position, and they're looking for someone with 2 to 3 years of experience in tech recruitment. And this would be based out of the Ottawa area, so that you need to be a recruiter that has a strong network in Ottawa, right? So that's what I'm recruiting on right now. Also, this session is sponsored by DK Global Talent, which is my digital course and training company. Look, if one of your top challenges as a job seeker is you're applying for positions, you're not getting responses to your applications, what I teach in my course, which is Applying to Jobs Online 101, is a 3-step process through the use of direct messaging to increase your responses to those applications you're putting out. And it definitely is through making use of sending a direct message, and not just any direct message, but an effective, attention-grabbing direct message that increases your chances of getting correspondence and responses from hiring managers as well as recruiters when you're reaching out to them about positions that you're interested in, or simply if it's an organization you're really interested in working for. So right now it's at special pricing, $97 Canadian. That's including taxes. So if you want to check out more information about that, check out the link over here. It's not a clickable link, unfortunately. I can't add clickable links on here, but it's at dkglobaltalent.com/get responses, dkglobaltalent.com/get responses, dkglobaltalent.com/get responses. Now, that being said, folks, let's get into today's topic. All right, let's talk about follow-up. And again, if you have any questions about follow-up, or if you want to tell me, hey, what is your follow-up strategy? How are you implementing follow-up? Feel free to share in the comments. Don't be shy, and be ready to take notes, because I'm going to be sharing with you today 2 tips about how you need to be thinking about follow-up. So today's going to be more about how you're thinking about follow-up, and from there you should be able to, again, at the end of this session, take this information and apply it and formulate your own strategies around follow-up. And by the way, for those of you interested in my course, follow-up is actually the 3rd module that I cover in my course, Applying to Jobs Online 101. And follow-up is extremely important. So tip number 1, folks, in regards to follow-up is, first of all, you need to change the way you think about follow-up, right? Because when we're thinking about follow-up, and this goes to everyone out there, including myself, back in the day, this is how I used to think about follow-up. Follow-up is about getting an update, right? Getting an update, getting a final decision, right? If you're a job seeker, you're following up with the recruiter, you're following up with the hiring manager. Most of us, our idea of follow-up is, hey, I just want an update. I want updates. I want a final decision. Am I getting a yes or a no? That's what we're thinking about. But if that's how you're thinking about follow-up, folks, what I want to suggest today is I want you to make a slight adjustment. That is not the purpose of follow-up. That is the outcome of follow-up, right? So that's kind of a big distinction there, right? Getting the updates, getting the outcome, knowing where you stand. Is it a yes decision or a no decision? That is the outcome as a result of follow-up. Okay, so that's the big difference here. Like, this is how we need to be changing our thinking about follow-up. But the purpose of follow-up itself, right? And maybe this might be my own opinion, my own perspective about this, but the purpose of follow-up is to maintain communication, right? That is the way I see follow-up as a recruiter, right? Even when I'm talking to candidates, I'm following up with my candidates. I'm not expecting my candidates to give me a yes or no decision right away. I follow up with them so that I can maintain communication. And also, second part of that is so I can be on top of their minds, right? And this is the way I want you folks out there who are job seekers, and maybe some of you are hiring managers or recruiters at organizations. Like, this is how you need to be looking at follow-up. Follow-up is not the outcome, which is the outcome we're seeking, which is, hey, give me an update, or hey, is it a yes? Is it a no? Do you want to move forward? Do you not want to move forward with me? That is the result of follow-up. But follow-up itself, the purpose of follow-up itself is to maintain communication and establish yourself as someone being on top of the other person's mind. They're constantly aware that you're there. Maybe not constantly, but hey, you're one of the first people that come to mind because of your follow-up, right? You're on top of their mind. You're a consistent presence, and that is probably, I'd say, the major thing you want to accomplish as you folks are thinking about your follow-up strategy, how you can effectively follow up. This is the basic premise of effective follow-up. Does it allow you to maintain communication? And secondly, does it allow you to be on top of the other person's or the other party's mind? And this is the primary function of an effective follow-up strategy. And it should be based on that principle. So that being said, how we need to be thinking about follow-up is it's not a task. It's not just, and this is why so many of you follow up once or twice and you kind of give up, because you're looking at follow-up as a task, as some task that you do, like picking up a pen or dropping mail in the mailbox or taking out the garbage. It's not a task, folks. It's not just something you do once or twice. Like, follow-up is a strategy, right? It is a strategy. So if you're taking notes, write this down. Follow-up is not a task. Follow-up is a strategy. Now, when you think strategy, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about just doing something once or twice and that's it? No, that's a task. A strategy is long-term, right? Maybe not long-term, like, maybe not like, 50, 60 years or something like that. But long-term in the sense of it's something that needs to be carried out over a period of time. It's something you need to do consistently and over a period of time, right? And the reason why this is so important is, and the reason why this is going to help you really stand out against everyone else is, look, most people, they follow up once or twice and they give up. That's it. And what a lot of you are doing is you're taking it personally when you're not getting responses from recruiters, from hiring teams, from hiring managers, or for the organizations out there. You're taking it personally when your candidates don't respond to you immediately, when you follow up with them, right? But tip number one is simply that. We got to change the way we think about follow-up, right? The purpose of follow-up is maintaining communication and being a consistent presence on the other party's mind. And in fact, for those of you following me on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, where else am I? I mean, those are the main channels. My LinkedIn newsletter, these live streams I do every week. Guess what, folks? Of course, on the one hand, of course, I'm doing it to help people out there and all of that. But I'm trying to get something out of this as well. And this is my way of following up, right? Believe it or not, this is my way of following up, because you know what? I know that candidates out there, they have a whole bunch of stuff going on. I know my clients out there, organizations, hiring managers that who are my clients, they have a whole bunch of stuff going on out there as well. I know they're not constantly, keeping track of my follow-up emails and my phone calls and all that stuff. So using social media is actually another way that I use to follow up. Like, follow-up this is part of my follow-up strategy. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've posted something or did a video or a post or written an article or did one of these live streams, and one of my clients or one of my candidates saw it and they're like, oh crap, I forgot to get back to Dean about, whatever. And then they send me a message. They're like, hey, Dean, sorry, I missed I forgot to respond to your email or forgot to respond to your message. And then, continue with the conversation from there. So this is how, folks, you need to be looking at each and everything as potential follow-up tools and material that you can use, right? And my use of social media is an example of using follow-up as a way to, again, remember what I said, maintain communication and be on top of mind of the other party, the other people you're trying to get in and stay in communication with, right? So that's tip number one in regards to follow-up. And by the way, if you have any questions, don't be shy, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'm going to get to your questions right after I finish talking about today's topic. So tip number two about follow up is, okay, we understand that follow up is about maintaining communication. Okay, I get it, Dean. You're saying it's about maintaining communication. I understand it's about being a consistent presence and being on top of their mind. Now, that being said, that does not mean you're just going to put a whole bunch of random stuff out there and simply talk about, whatever. Like, you have to, again, remember what I said. It's not a task, it's a strategy. So let's be strategic. Let's be strategic about how we think about follow up. So the other part of follow up is we got to put the focus on the other person, the other party, right? This is extremely important. And if you're taking notes, write this down. When you're following up, you want to put the focus on the other party. That's how you're going to get their attention, folks. Put the focus on the other person, the other party you're trying to reach out to. This is your opportunity to be a value add, right? Don't let it be just about you. Don't just reach out to people, right? Maybe you're reaching out to a hiring manager. You're like, hey, I want an update on where I stand in the in the job interview, or hey, do you have an update? I mean, yeah, sure, you can do that, and fair enough. But if you want to do effective follow up, and if you want to follow up effectively over a period of time, you want to be able to reach out to someone multiple times over a period of time, then you might want to consider putting the focus on them, because then it's not going to be annoying. It's not going to, or at least it's not going to be as annoying, right? If you constantly put the focus on the other party, how you can add value to them, then you're going to be able to, your follow-up is going to be more effective. It's going to be more attention grabbing, and it's going to be seen as less annoying, because you're not talking about you and what you want. You're putting the focus on the other person, the other party. Now, of course, you want to interject yourself into that equation, because you want it to be an intersection between what would be of interest to them and how you would fit into that. I mean, definitely you want to combine those. But the point is, we want to put the focus on the other party, how can you how can you add value to the other person or the other party? That's the way you need to be thinking about follow up, folks. Now, a couple of ideas here that I wanted to share is, I mean, your follow up could simply be like, if you're a job seeker, by the way. Okay, so let's say you're a candidate, you went to an interview, you sent your thank you note after the interview. Now, how can you continue to follow up? Well, one idea I have for all of you out there that are in this situation, you went for an interview and you're trying to follow up now, is refer to items discussed during the interview, folks. This is like the easiest material for you to use in your follow up. Now, I'm not talking about just any random stuff you talked about at the interview, but bring up topics and items discussed that were of importance to the hiring team, right? Maybe they discussed some problem they're currently experiencing. Maybe they talked about some project they're currently working on, and they're experiencing some pain points, some setbacks. Like, that is such a great source of follow-up, like, because it gets their attention, because it's something they're experiencing right now. Like, it's a problem they're facing right now that might be costing them money and time, headaches, and a whole bunch of stuff. So for you to bring that up, it benefits them. It also benefits you, because now you can continue the conversation and, again, reinsert and position yourself as someone who can help them out with that. So your follow-up might be, hey, Dean, just wanted to follow up with you. I know it's been a week since we met. I was just thinking about problem XYZ that you're currently experiencing at the organization, and I just had a couple of ideas I wanted to share with you. Do you have time for a quick 2 to 3 minute phone call? I wanted to share some ideas I had about that. Right? I mean, that's a simple example right there, right? The point here is you want to use follow-up to get back in front of the other party. You want to be a consistent presence. You want to maintain communication. You want to use the follow-up to get their attention, to reel them in. And again, make them see you as someone of value to them, right? And I'm just saying, folks, like, the interview itself, like the stuff you discuss at the interview itself is just the perfect, I mean, tons of material right there that you can use as part of your follow-up. Right. And another thing I always tell people, and I probably posted about this plenty of times in the past, is, look, the interview does not end the interview does not end when the interview ends. Through follow-up, you can continue the conversation, continue the discussion. Like, who says, I mean, there's no rule or law, folks, that says, hey, as soon as the interview is over, you can no longer, never again can you speak about what was discussed at the interview, unless of course it's, some kind of a disclaimer kind of stuff. But outside of that, like, you need to be seeing how you can continue the communication, right? And follow-up is such a great way to do this. And by appealing to problems, challenges, pain points, or things that the organization wants to achieve at the interview, I mean, these are great points for you to use as part of your follow-up. And hey, just like in my example that I gave just now, get back in front of them, get on another phone call with them, maybe even set up another meeting, right, where you can discuss these challenges they're facing. And again, it's another opportunity for you to insert yourself as someone that can help them out, right? So that's another. And what else? Another example is, hey, let's say you're a hiring manager, right, and you want to follow up with some great, amazing, fantastic candidate you met. Now, instead of saying, hey, Dean, it's great meeting you. Just wanted to find out, just want to let you know that, we're really interested in bringing you on board, and wanted to know if you made a decision based on, the other offer you have versus our offer. I mean, sure, you can do that, right? But what's another thing you can do? Well, maybe you can send more information to Dean about the company, about your company, about your organization. Maybe at the interview, Dean expressed some interest in certain, I don't know, maybe educational perks or something like that. And maybe you want to send that as part of your follow-up to the candidate as well. You can be like, hey, Dean, I know that when we chatted, you mentioned that you were very interested in working for an organization that invests in its employees. Just want to attach an information package about what we do over here to invest in our employees in terms of educational, I don't know, incentives, qualifications, blah, 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 whatever. Like, these are all, so even from the employer side, if you're a hiring manager, you're an organization, like, it's the same thing. You got to see how you're through following up, you can add value to the other party, because that's going to mean a lot to me, right? If I'm a candidate, I receive that information. Guess what? If I have if I have the information that's going to help me make a decision, that's going to benefit you, right? I mean, you as the potential hiring manager or employer as well, right? Whereas the other organizations I might be interviewing with, maybe they're not providing me with that additional information, right? I mean, I don't hear about that too often, where organizations are going above and beyond to provide additional information after the interview as to why my organization would be an attractive option for the candidate, right? So think about these things, folks. What else? Other stuff you can do, like through your follow-up, think about stuff that was important to the organization or to the hiring manager or to the candidate, and share links, article, blogs, success stories, like testimonials. I don't know, like, there's a whole bunch of stuff like that you can insert into your follow-up. And you can literally follow up with someone every single week, folks. If you do this, if you put the focus on them, on the other party, you can literally follow up with them like over a couple of weeks, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I mean, heck, I mean, I don't know, 15, 20 times even over a couple of weeks, simply because you're not just saying, oh, hey, I need do you have an update? Or, hey, have you made a decision? It's not just about, you're not putting the focus on yourself. You're putting the focus on the other party, and you're being a value add to the other party, right? And this will allow you to follow up multiple times and not be annoying, because again, you're putting the focus on the other party, you're adding value to the other party, you're positioning yourself as someone of value to the other party, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about. And look, kind of a bonus tip here, but I kind of mentioned it before. It's about being a consistent presence, folks. It's about being a consistent presence. If you've been following me for a while, when you think about IT recruiter, who is the first recruiter that comes to mind? Hopefully it's me, right? Because through my social media content, through my videos, through my posts, through my articles, through the whole bunch of stuff I'm doing in social media, uh, my goal is for me to be the first tech recruiter you think about when you think about recruiters. Like, that is the goal. That I don't do this. Sorry, folks, but I don't do this social media stuff just for the heck of it. And I certainly don't do it just because it strokes my ego and stuff. No, like, there's a very practical outcome I'm trying to attain. Like, I want to be the first IT recruiter everyone thinks about. That's the goal. And I do that by providing value to you, right? That's what I'm doing here. I'm doing exactly what I'm talking about here. And it's part of my follow-up strategy, because look, everyone out there, you folks have your own stuff going on in your own lives. It's impossible for you to remember me and think about me all the time. But when you do think about me and when you do remember me, I want to be someone that you think about when you need help in maybe your job search. Maybe you're an IT professional, you're looking for your next opportunity. Maybe you're a hiring manager and you're looking, you've tried recruiting with other agencies, or you try recruiting on your own, you can't find the right people. I want to be the first person you think about when you do reach that point, right? And this is why I see social media as a follow-up strategy. I don't even look at social media as social media. I look at it as a follow-up strategy, right? And I do that by adding value, right? Adding value to the other party, which is all of you folks out there, so that in exchange, I have your attention. And I'm one of the first people you think about when you're looking for IT opportunities in Canada, or you're looking to hire new team members to your tech team here in Canada, right? So this is how you need to be thinking about follow-up, folks. It's about being a consistent presence. It's about maintaining communication, and it's about putting the focus on the other party, the other person, the other party. How can you add value to the other party? And when you do this, you can follow up multiple times and not be annoying, because again, you're adding value to the other party, and you're putting the focus on them. All right. So that's today's session, folks. Hey, if you got value out of today's session, please do me a favor and hit me up with a like, and also make sure you share it with your network as well. You know what they say about the whole social media algorithms. When you get the likes, when you get the reshares and stuff like that, uh, then I guess I don't know, it as if it's some mysterious thing, knows that, hey, this content must be valuable, and that's why people are liking it and sharing it. So always appreciate the likes and the shares, folks. Hit me up with a like right now if you found this session insightful and helpful. And it looks like I mean, we are down to the Q&A part, but it looks like we have a bit of a quiet crowd today and might not be any questions. So if nothing else, if you found this session helpful, please comment with a thank you, or just let me know if you have any questions. If not, I'll give that a couple of seconds, or maybe a minute or two. And if there's no questions, I will end the session. And you will have to forever hold your peace, at least until next week, all right, when I'm back again. So if you don't have any questions, I'm going to end the session right now, folks. But mark your calendars and join me every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone, right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And yeah, those are the channels I'm usually posting on. And again, just a reminder, make sure you subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter. I release a new edition of my newsletter every Monday during the afternoon. I talk about a recruitment topic, I talk about a job search topic, and that gets out every Monday during the afternoon. So make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. Appreciate everyone who has already subscribed. And again, if you're an IT professional anywhere in Canada, I'm going to change it actually, not just to Greater Toronto, but I'm going to change it to anywhere in Canada. If you're an IT professional anywhere in Canada, you're an organization looking to recruit IT professionals anywhere in Canada, feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out and let me know if there's any way I can assist you. If not now, at some point in the future, let's start building the relationship right now. The best time to build relationships, folks, is when you don't need something from the other person. So that way, when either party needs something, it's just a reciprocation, right? So feel free to reach out, folks. Don't be shy. And by the way, if you're outside of Canada right now, you're in a different country, you're an IT professional, but you're planning to move to Canada, or you're going to arrive in Canada soon, hey, reach out to me, send me a message. Maybe I can't help you right now, but I definitely want to see if I can help you at some point in the future when you are in Canada, right? So I don't care where you're from. I don't care what country you're from. Hey, you could be from Pluto or Jupiter, or maybe you're in Mars. Okay, maybe you're one of the first people Elon Musk has already secretly put on Mars. I don't care where you're from, folks. I want to get in communication with you. I want to get to know you, and I want to definitely have you in my network. All right, so feel free to send me a connection request. Follow me, subscribe, whatever. Just do whatever you want to do. All right. So in any case, that's it for today, folks. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hope everyone got great value out of today's session. We got Peter, my friend Peter Mihawk in the house, who says thank you. Hey, no worries, Peter. Appreciate you tuning in. Follow Peter, folks. If you're interested in PMO stuff, anything PMO related, Peter's your guy. He's very involved in the PMO community. So make sure you connect with him and follow him. He's always talking about PMO stuff. He's always involved in some kind of events, virtual events as well, in regards to PMO. So he's your guy. Make sure you follow Peter. All right. Thanks so much, Peter, for tuning in and for your comment. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope everyone got great value out of today's session. And remember, folks, follow-up is not a task. It is a strategy, okay? Not a task. Follow-up is not a task. It's a strategy, all right? Have a great week, folks. Hope you do some amazing, fantastic follow-up. And I'll see you next week, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone, right here, folks, all right? Take care, everyone.